Hey, how's it going? We are continuing this series where we're taking a look at potential support available for different businesses out there. Taking a look at high-end manufacturing available out there, and I have covered a number of institutions already. Within this video, I'm going to be taking a look at University of Warwick and what kind of support is available out there for anyone who are interested in high-end manufacturing, right? And let's try to understand a little bit better what this university has to offer. WMG, University of Warwick, is a UK-based research and educational group combining collaborative research and development with education programs, working in applied sciences, technology, and engineering sectors, where they could potentially offer a lot of value, as well as it was founded in 1980. And that's pretty much what I managed to find on some of those research engines of that. Let's go on the company's website and see what kind of information I would be able to access there. I do understand that if you are looking to develop your products or services from level one, if we're taking a look at technology readiness level and you have an idea, you need to bring it all the way to level 9 ideally. And some of those facilities are being set up partly or entirely funded by taxpayers. I'm not entirely sure where the money is coming from, but if anything, that would be just another opportunity how you can have access to different facilities out there, right? Some of the core competence within this institution is automotive systems, cybersecurity, visualization, data science, health information and health data science, healthcare technologies, and biomedical engineering. So that would be six areas. If it's something that you're looking to work in some of those industries, some of those ideas, if you're looking to develop ideally, you might want to reach out to some of those network facilitators. A good place to start, perhaps, with About Sanction. Launched in January 2022, the Skills Center has been developed by WMG World Class Academia Department based at University of Warwick. WMG has over 40 years track record of working with industry, developing expertise in business and empowering employees. Warwick is a member of the Russell Group, one of the UK's top 10 universities and global leaders in research excellence. Since it's university, I'm not entirely sure again who is funding it, right? So there might be a lot of special interest. I'll touch on that in just a minute. I don't want to misquote. I have done a little bit of research yesterday to find out some of the members sitting on the board. My worth mentioning to have a seat at the board. Perhaps there's a lot of entrepreneurs, business people who are sitting on the board, right? So if I think it was Tata, if some of you know one of the founders of Tata Group, and they have ideally they have started from what I understand, right? They have started with uh, core free areas. This is ideally the story of Tata and how they got started was free areas, but now they venture in over 400 different businesses with Tata Group, and how many different businesses they have access to and different investment opportunities. But either way, right? So recently they acquired three automotive companies within UK. Range Rover, I think, is one of those companies, and there's a well, either way. So if you yourself would reach out to any of those organizations, right, and if you it's something that you would like to do, like automotive, right, and they're gonna see how you're doing it, I don't know, when it comes to business and sensitive information and how and what kind of impact they're gonna have on your business. Even yesterday, I've seen some opportunities to receive funding from some of the government institutions when it comes to automotive, so you can receive funding, right? So then there's already some notes, right? So if there's some board members that are looking after their own interests when it comes to overseeing their own company, and you come in and you're looking to develop any project there, just to be careful, I guess, when it comes to data sharing and how your information or what all the work that you are doing has been treated. The having proper systems in place, perhaps as well as worth mentioning, right? Since yesterday, I have reached out to different universities, right? Different, not this one. And we had initial conversation where we're discussing this on. I was talking with an administration staff, and that administration staff was asking me a lot of questions, right? I think that initially this is what most of the people are going to be talking to administration staff. They're going to ask you about a lot of things about what you would like to do, right? Once they do research on you, what you would like to do, they would freely share that information with the rest of the university, if that makes sense, right? Unless you would have necessary systems in place like NDA agreement, which is kind of good. That's the first layer of protection. When talking about talking with the serious people, right? Then I asked for NDA having the system in place, that administration staff refused to sign NDA. So they prefer to share that all information when it comes to your business freely with everyone, right? And now I need to do all this research to understand another university who is sitting on the board of another university, right? Because there might be some special interest, people who bought their way into university, if that makes sense. They just do whatever they want to do, which is great, right? Perhaps I'm gonna one day sit on one of those boards, and I will be taking a look at what's happening within university, or pick and choose perhaps what some of the projects that I can easily access to those projects if I wanted to, and perhaps take some information from one project, from another project, and build my own companies based on that. Since based on my personal experience, the way how that administration staff would refuse to sign NDA agreements, as well as how freely they prefer to share all information within their staff. They said the university is big, right? So perhaps it can be in thousands of a number of staff, right? And they prefer to share information with 1,000 people, sensitive information that might have impact on my or anybody else's business, right? So they refused. So I have only one point of contact. The one point of contact would refuse. So how we can reach out to any of those organizations to the business? The man that I was talking about, that would be Ratan Tata, GBA Chairman Emeritus, Tata's son. So I have done enough research to understand a little bit information about his father and how his father got started. And later, once he passed away, he passed all the companies, all the things that he have accomplished to his son, and they had acquired a number of companies, including tea company, car companies, bunch of companies, right? And now some of those people are sitting on the boards, right? And they sitting on the boards, and especially recently they acquired a lot of car companies. If it's something that I would like to do, and they can, I don't know, internal policies of the university, right, or research facility, and how this facility was set up, tax money, partly, entirely, set up by a tax people's would how it's been funded institution in the first place, and now I don't know what's happening, right? But let's see how it would some of those things would unfold. But either way, so now I need to do all this research to understand what some of those network institutions, which supposed to support all the local businesses, right? And governments, I don't know. They're supposed to help, right? Perhaps they would help themselves, and they would help my business in the process. I don't know. So it's just one person, right? Perhaps I'm not entirely sure about all the setup that they have going over here. I can see this. They have defined some of those companies and what kind of companies they do represent. So there is another person. His name is Natarian Chandarskarian, chairman from Tata's group, which is great. So at least I know what kind of business they're representing, and they're working together, I guess, to benefit everyone, consumers, taxpayers. So they're working together, which is great. Sitting on the board, right? And I'm not entirely sure. Let's take a look how things would unfold. I have a meeting with this institution on Monday, so hopefully they would agree to with a person, my point of contact there, that would be able to sign the and the agreement, or perhaps the person itself is going to be administration staff, and the administration staff with not necessarily a background in engineering or whatever case might be would agree to sign in the agreement, and he would ask, collect all the information about what I would like to do, what kind of projects, and from there, the case, what the case might be, right? Then he would share that information, if that's a policy of university, with all the members of the board, and they might agree or disagree about doing business with other businesses. I don't know. If you're interested in learning more, I have published the book Project Fitful. Within this book, I'm sharing a lot of information for the people who like to learn more about their body, this hardware that we all have, and how to improve and maintain this hardware, right? So, what kind of food you should be eating, what would be your calorie intake every day, how you can use that calorie intake in the best possible way when it comes to your exercises, the way how you work out, what kind of stress you putting on your body, and how your body should overcome that stress, if anything, right? As well as rest periods. And within the book, I'm sharing different workout plans where you can develop yourself, different areas within yourself, how you can approach working out from beginner to a professional level, right? So it starts very slow, I guess. You can find it in the description below, as well as QR code in the corner. I have done enough research to understand some of the other organizations, right? Some of those organizations would do business only depending on minimum order quantities, right? So they would only do business with perhaps 4 or 5 businesses. The case might be, if anything, that summarizes it, all right? So how you yourself, how you can take your business to the point where at the table it's only 4 or 5 people, right? How you can get your business to that point, right? And what would be the entry, and where more people should focus on when it comes to perhaps smaller players, how they can let in another 20 people, right, or 30 people, 30 different organizations, and how they can support those organizations with those lengthy contracts, 90 pages contracts, that they need to fill in before even having access to those facilities in the first place, right? Once they are there, all the work would be overseen by internal staff, right? I don't know. It's a mess. I don't know if people even care. Some of the things that I'm seeing, the way how they're running those institutions, it doesn't seem they uh, things are the way how they are for a reason, if anything, because the system has so much flaws, right? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.